recording this. Okay. I don't ever and have never segregated myself into the formal poetry versus free verse camps, which there are camps. And I just feel like you need, at least for me, I write according to what is the need to express what's in my heart or in my mind or whatever. But I do tend to gravitate towards formal poetry for the most part, and sonnets in particular. So I have, when Jane presented this concept of bearing, I said, do I have anything about this? And then I thought, no, wait, I actually do. So it worked out well. And I think if I do another, this book is what I like to call my magnum opus, but when I do another edition, I think I'm going to put some, what's the word for the thing you put at the beginning that explains it? There's a name for it. What is it?
Preface?
No, not preface. No, before the poem.
Oh.
No, the little, I know there's a word for it, but anyway.
Subtitle.
Yeah, maybe like a subtitle, but something that it kind of clarifies what the poems are about, because I think sometimes, unless they're very, very direct, they may be a little obscure, and then you kind of lose the person that's reading it, and I don't want that to happen. So that being said, the first one I submitted and would like to share is called the Word-Birth Sonnet, a word-birth, which I came to understand after being a poet for many years is that it's called a kenning, which is a form of writing in Anglo-Saxon, our heritage, which is really cool. You know, and I was like, I've been doing that for so long, I didn't know it was a thing, but I've been doing it. And so I've used it in that particular poem. I'm not sure I have it, a kenning in any of the others, but it did work out well for this one. And then this is the a sonnet about the creative process of bearing, B-E-A-R-I-N-G, poetry. I gave birth to a poem the other day. I labored for 12 hours in a rhyme. I centered, conjured, wombed, throbbed, then gave way to empty out the fullness of my time. As in the waves and ebbs and flows of life, by blood and pulsing bearing down its course, I think, I gestate, for the pangs of strife are sperm to my ripe beating ovoid source. Oh, I am aching. So intense are all the squeezings and the earnest tides of pain. I move about, then settle in to call with open heart my brain canal again. For writing is the labor of the mind, and I have birthed my children all in kind. Thank you. The next one I have here, that was a Shakespearean sonnet. So there's really three basic forms, Shakespearean, Petrarchan, and Spenserian, which I have experimented with all these forms. This next one is a Petrarchan, which is a little different. It doesn't have the rhyming couplet at the end generally, so it's in two, the sestet, I think it's the sestet and the octet. It's separated differently and produced in a different way. The rhyme scheme is a little different, but it's still very, I think, even more moving in some ways than Shakespearean, I think. So this one is called The Rise of Fall, and it's a sonnet about bearing, B-A-R-I-N-G, and bearing, B-E-A-R-I-N-G, the effects of aging. So if anybody's gotten to that, you might be really able to relate to this. Okay, The Rise of Fall. There were such pretty flowers in the spring, the fragrant colors of a verdant time, such fresh potentiality, sublime in all the loveliness that they did bring. Then summer issued forth a deep wellspring, maturely ripening, where vines would climb and trees begin to bulge. This is the prime of life, where growth will dance and sway and sing. But autumn is the time of now. I stand amid the harvests and the fruit. The change between the then and now, it leaves me jaded. I barely have the bearings to withstand this person of today. Indeed, how strange, how much the beauty of the past has faded.
Amen.
This one also is a Petrarchan, as I see it, called my journal. So all of us writers here, I'm sure, have some form of record. It doesn't have to be a journal necessarily, just however you record your writings. I do have journals. I guess I tend to, for the most part, write in longhand in a journal till I get to a certain point in the composition of a poem, and then I'll type it up on the computer and print it just to see what it looks like, and then I'll see all my mistakes, and then I'll go through it again, and then once it's actually finally done, then I'll put it back into the journal as a finished product. So I kind of have sort of the process of how it goes. But this one is about bearing, B-A-R-I-N-G, my soul in my writing, my journal. Within my world, there is a sacred place where I can hide and then reveal my heart, where thoughts and feelings go and become art. It is a sanctuary, hallowed space, creating something new and touched with grace. I put my mind to pen and then impart my soul's outpourings through my mind to start, and then show my whole raw self with open face. And when complete, I then perfect my words and get them ready for the world to see. I take them from these pages, then display them out for those who read and hear. This girds me up for naked vulnerability. Indeed, I offer all I am this way. And I guess in this book, there's quite a whole chapter called, what is it called? If I could remember now, it's about aging, the change that comes with age. So I have about maybe 4 or 5 different poems on aging. I guess it's something I think about a lot these days. But this one is called Self-Portrait. This is a Shakespearean form. A sonnet about the mirror, as in the actual mirror that you look at, bearing, B-A-R-I-N-G, one's aging self. An aging, slowly fading entity, a graying heart and changes of the mind. The autumn time of life has come to me, and I am quite surprised at what I find. For I am still the same as I have been, the ball of intense passion full inside. The person that I am is still within, though sometimes I do feel that part has died. For yes, I have the fire, but its flame is flickering and smoldering away. In many ways, it will not be the same as when full fire forced its light on day. For change of life's a curiosity, for what I was and am to be. Thank you.
I love that Theresa takes my themes so very seriously. You know, and I was worried when I created the 3 bears and this particular call to writers you know, thinking some, and it may be the case, and it may explain our light attendance today, that others were not quite as intent and determined to find a way to address B-E-A-R and B-A-R-E. And Dan, by the way, we picked up, you did not use the word B-A-R-A-E, but skinny dipping, come on. Exactly. But anyway, thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
your
you.
determination. Thank you so much for the many ways in which you address a topic that is, at this point in my life, also dear to my heart, as well as my friend Phil here, whom we'll get to in a minute or so. But I wanted to also tell y'all, for those who don't know, Theresa and I met a number of years ago at a reading, Burke's Bards reading or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I think it was.
About writing sonnets, and I was still teaching, I think, at the time, or just done with teaching at the time. And one of my favorite lessons in teaching writing and literature was to challenge my students to write sonnets, because, you know, it's a challenge, you know, to follow all the rules and whatnot, but you get to feel really good about it because it is a challenge. So we met over sonnets.
Yes, and we're still meeting over sonnets.
Something that we both sort of love.
Yes, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah.
May I make a request?
Yeah,
There is a poem in the book that's under your hand there,
sonnets.
which I have.
Oh,
That
okay.
refers to the color gray.
Oh, gray sonnet. I would love to read it, if that's
I would love to
okay.
hear it.
Jane, am I allowed?
I gave permission.
Okay. All right, she went, so I'll read
Yeah,
it.
read it.
Gray sonnet. It's actually one of my favorites. And I spell it G-R-E-Y just because I guess I know that's the British way of spelling it, but I happen to really think it looks nicer or something. I don't know why I choose to use gray, G-R-E-Y, but maybe to be different. I don't know. But, okay, let me just wait for her to... Do you guys want to come in?
They're trying to get some chairs.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second. I don't want to ruin it. There's a seat right here. Okay, I guess we're good. I don't know if Jane's coming back. Oh yes, here she comes. Chairs and chairs. Okay, beautiful. That's great.
And by the way, in case
Yeah.
you don't remember, I had heard you read that at Phoenixville Library.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah, no, I love it. This one is which was weird because there's the word spectrum in this poem. And at the time that I wrote it, I did not know that I was on the autism spectrum. So it was weird that I was using it more in terms of refraction of light and that how light breaks into colors and so on. But it has a double meaning even more for me now because I wrote this probably maybe 15 years ago, and I was diagnosed with autism level 1 in about 10 years ago. So when you hear it, it might make more sense that way. Gray sonnet. You say that you are gray, but do you know how shades of gray are complementary to russet, red, maroon, or crimson's flow, or other hues of blood that bleed from me? You admix, so you say, of black and white. But did you notice how the dawn of gray will burst with yellow, purples, pinks, and light when face to face confronted with the day? Then you are every color and are none. For black absorbs and white reflects. Yet free in alchemy the rigid comes undone, and then my spectrum you more clearly see. For gray to dwell alone is gray indeed, when colors yearn to contrast, blend, and bleed. Thank you for remembering it. That means a lot. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.